Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. It is our first day of year 3. I've taken the time off screen since our last recording to just kind of get the farm prepared. So I've put out 6 plots where I can plant some stuff. We have to go to Chen's shop after the festival and see what it is we have available to grow in this season. And if I want to grow more, I do have a lot more space up here, and if I want to, I can also expand over here, so it depends on how crazy I want to get, but I try not to do any more than 6 at a time, just so I can keep track of how things are growing, because of course we have to start keeping track of the water and the sun points as well. So I've done all of my animal care, and as you can see, your animal grass, your grass here will lie dormant throughout the wintertime, and it will come back in the spring. So this is great, and I've fixed up this area for our farm animals, and I've cleaned it up a little bit. So I actually have more room to plant some more grass, and once this starts to mature and starts to come in, then we can leave our animals out to graze when it is nice and sunny out. I've got so much more to talk about in terms of everything that's changed in the spring and everything that's going on, but I don't want to miss our festival, because it is a daytime festival, so we have to be there before 6 o'clock. So we're just gonna quickly run through the Rice Candy Festival. Just gives us an opportunity to say hi to our neighbors, to ring in the new year, and we do get that very, very rare stack of rice candy from Taro, which we can only get from this festival. And once again, it is nice to see which princess here. This would be her first festival. And I'm not sure if she's saying careful not to choke in like a threatening way. I'm never sure with her. I gotta keep an eye on that girl. It's like she's smiling, but what she's saying kind of has a different tone to it. Anyways, I've made a separate save file for myself already where I spent a ton of time fishing. I caught about 30 or 40 fish, and then I called it quits because I can only do so much of that before I've had enough. So you guys don't have to watch me do that. And please let me know as well, by the way, if as we get on in the years, whether I should be skipping the festivals or not. I've skipped a few festivals when I was not able to compete. So the first year we went and talked to everybody at the cat festival, for example. We just sort of went and chatted to everybody and figured out what it was all about, but I still didn't have a cat in time for the cat festival last year, so I skipped it. I didn't even bother to go. And with these New Year's festivals, I do get something out of it, but it's not a competition type of a festival. It's not something that I can get wonderfuls for. It's not something that I can really do much with. So please let me know, because it might become repetitive. It might be something that everybody doesn't want to watch. I would like to keep the festival competition type ones in for our animals and our crops and such, but even then I don't really have to keep them in. I can just do an update a few days later and say, hey, I won the festival and I got such colored wonderful and so on and so forth. So if you could let me know in the comments whether that is something that you would like me to change, then I will go ahead and do so. But for now, we need to go to Chen's. It is already 6 o'clock. And I already know from speaking to Taro that it's going to be sunny tomorrow. I probably don't need to water everything today. I think I can probably just plant everything, because a lot of the crops in spring don't need a ton of water, and spring tends to be a little on the rainy side. So it looks like we don't have anything really new here. We still have our turnips, potatoes, cucumbers, and strawberries. We only have one crop left in summer to actually unlock, and it's a bit of a doozy to actually unlock it. So I don't know that we will unlock it. I personally didn't have the opportunity to do so when I played on my own. So for now, I'm gonna buy 2 of everything. And I know that the math doesn't add up there, because I would need 8 plots rather than 6. So I think what I'll do is I will plant the potatoes, the cucumbers, and the strawberries and get those going. And then maybe tomorrow or the day after, I'll make a few more rows and plant some turnips. And the reason for that is because turnips grow so quickly. They're so easy to grow. It really is no problem. Whereas things like cucumbers and strawberries are replenishable, so we want to get them going as soon as possible so that we can manage to get them to their last growth stage. And then from there, we can get what we want to get off of them every couple of days. And then potatoes are fairly easy to grow as well, but they do take a little longer than turnips. We also have access to grass seeds, which I am going to need if I want to expand the eating area for our barn animals, which I will be doing. Now that it is pretty expensive, it's 500 gold for 1 bag, so I'll have to figure out when it is that I want to buy those and plant them. And then finally, we have to remember also that we can start to put things in our rice paddy as well. So when we're ready, we can go and cultivate the rice paddy and buy the rice and put that down. A bit of a time investment more than anything to make sure the paddy is all tilled, and a bit of money to put the rice in. But once the rice is in place, we are absolutely golden. We just have to wait 2 seasons for that to come in, and we should be able to harvest that sometime in the fall or in the late summer. I think it takes a little less than 2 seasons, but we don't want to plant it too late. So once again, lots and lots of options. Lots to do. There's never a shortage of things to do at the beginning of any season. So, let's see here. Let's decide on what it is that I'm going to do. I have to remember the order in which I put things in. So I'm going to put cucumbers here. I'm going to put strawberries over here. And then I will put potatoes in our last grid here. And then I'll figure out where it is that I would like to put some turnips. And like I said, I don't need to water them. They can probably use an extra day of sunshine before I decide that I want to water them. They need more sun than they do water, so this will give me a little opportunity to come and check up on our trees. So you can see here that these 2 trees here, which are banana trees, have some flowers on them. And basically what that means is that they will be ready to give us fruit in the following season. So because these are summer trees, they will not die at this stage when they have flowers. They cannot be killed, and we basically just have to wait until the summertime, until these will give us some fruit. Now we do have quite a few other fruit trees in our orchard, and they should be getting some flowers on them. I'm thinking they just haven't been in that fully mature stage for a very long time. They need to be mature for a certain period of time before they will start to flower. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the orchard, and I hope that that's the case because I would like to start getting fruit off of those trees, of course, in the summertime. The day just flew by, and I feel like I really didn't have enough time to talk about everything that I wanted to talk about. We are going to get a little event tomorrow morning when we wake up, so I might as well at this point go to sleep. And then we need to say goodbye to Popuri and Karen, because of course now that it's springtime, their visit is over, and they will be going back to Mineral Town. Saying goodbye is always hard, but I'll come again next year, promise. We had a really great time. Thank you, and see you later. And if memory serves me correctly, we never got to meet our spring visitor, did we? We had the doctor come in the summertime, but I think we missed the deadline for our spring visitor last year. So they should be showing up tomorrow, and that'll be another new and exciting thing because we don't know who it's gonna be. We have lots of Mineral Town villagers left that we haven't seen. It could be Mary, it could be Cliff, it could be Rick, it could be Gray. I mean, there's lots of possibilities there, which is pretty exciting. So we'll have to see. And that probably means that I will be doing another recording tomorrow, because it's just event after event after event, which is okay. I'm used to that. That's kind of how the start of seasons tend to go. That's not out of the ordinary. So I think I will put the turnips up here. We'll kind of continue to go upwards before we spread on out to the other side of our farm, just because this is sort of the side of the field I've designated for crops. And I think I can even get one more row here without it colliding with our chicken enclosure too, which is quite nice. So I still have lots of room. All the chickens are doing well. I should check in on our little baby here, make sure that we feed it. Should be grown up any time now, the next few days. And if that's the case, hopefully we will also be receiving a sunstone. And it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day with 3 sun points, which is fantastic. I can keep the animals out there for now, but I'm not gonna water. Once again, I'm gonna wait because it could be raining tomorrow. I should go speak to Taro and get the weather prediction and see if that's the case. And if it is, then once again, I will not water. I will leave the crops as they are, because something like strawberries are incredibly, incredibly delicate. They grow very, very quickly. They're sort of like yams, I suppose, in the fall season. They grow very, very quickly, but they don't need a ton of water. So I have to be wary of the amount of water that they're getting. I should brush my animals because they seem to be unhappy still, some of them, so that's not a good thing. I would like to put them outside. The only problem is the grass that I have isn't mature, and so if I put them outside, they wouldn't eat anything unless I push them back in at the end of every day. But unless we have a storm, which is possible, it's not something that is out of the realm of possibility. Unless we have a storm, I shouldn't have any excuse to miss feeding them, which is kind of how this whole mess started. I would like to stop the animals from being sick, of course, because we already dealt with that once, and it's scary and it's also expensive to deal with. And then, of course, as soon as I enter Taro's house, he goes back outside, of course. And it is going to be rainy tomorrow, so I do need to make sure to put the animals inside, put the chickens inside, and that means that I also am off the hook for watering, which is okay. And because it's springtime now, all of our spring forageable items are back, all of our herbs. We're going to be seeing bamboo shoots in the spring season, purple herbs, light blue and dark herbs. And a reminder also that the rock can be interacted with each day to get some seaweed. It's the only season that we can get seaweed off of that rock, so remember to do that if at all possible, because seaweed actually sells for a decent amount of cash if you don't want to use it for anything. You can at the very least sell it for a little bit of money, which is nice. I've got a lot of cleanup to do, as you can see. I've got lots and lots of branches and boulders and that type of stuff just kind of laying around that I need to try and take care of when I have a bit of time. I'd also like to talk about Ganon's shop as well. But this video is getting pretty long, and I do believe our next Mineral Town visitor is going to be coming tomorrow. So if that's the case, then I can probably just finish up what I want to do today, and then I'll have to come back and do another video tomorrow anyways, so we can see who our mysterious visitor is going to be. And then for the most part, we should be free and clear to just continue doing whatever it is we want to do up until the 8th day of spring, which is when our next festival is, which will be the Harvest Goddess Festival. And again, I'm very, very curious to see if this is something that we're going to be able to attend with Witch Princess, because she doesn't normally take part in it. And I'm assuming now that I'm married, I would go with my wife. That just makes sense to me. So I will be back tomorrow to do another update. I'm just going to carry on here and play and finish up anything that I need to finish up for today, and then hopefully I will have some more chores to do and some more tasks to complete tomorrow. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.